Boarding requested. Crew bus is coming. Crew boarding starting.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I'm Martin Wenzel. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and today we're going to be flying from Mobile, Alabama, up to Memphis, Tennessee. We're on the FedEx, in the FedEx A330-900 cargo plane, flight 860. See how it does. It looks like they're going to be loading. Looks like they're loading the cargo. It's obviously there's no door back here though, but they're going to be loading it anyway. But they do have the crates, so that's pretty cool. Don't know what the engines are doing, why it's looking like that. And here we got the crew bus, and another. There comes the crew. Or this is the dispatcher, it looks like. That's a little bit different. He's not really going up the stairs great. And I guess the pilot's already inside. Yeah, that stair looks a little weird there.
Your crew has boarded.
And I don't know what this baggage is for, but and where it's gonna go. So yeah, where's that baggage going? Well, it doesn't work perfectly with this plane, I suppose. Alright, let's get inside and get the plane started. So, a little bit of an afternoon stream. Didn't get this flight in this morning. We're going to get it in now. And let's see, a little bit different. This plane than the A320X. It uses a little bit older version. So, kind of just reminding myself. But basically the same concept of what we do in the A320X. Parking brake set. Flaps are in the retracted positions. Engine ignition switch is off. Or ignition is normal. Engine master switch is off. Throttle is in the... Yeah, see, actually on this one I have the throttle set to do reverse on the throttle. I don't have to hold anything. So I'm going to have to remember that. Otherwise we're going to have some bad times. But here it's in the idle position. Okay. We want to turn on the integrated panel. Integrated lighting. Moving up here, same thing. Turn up the displays, it's about 4. It is local time, 4:11 p.m. Doing live time and all that. Landing gear is down. Nose wheel anti-skid is on, and the wipers are in the off position. We'll hit those battery switches. Right, and external power is available, so we'll turn that on as well. Crew supply, nav 1, 2, and 3. Do fire tests. It doesn't make the siren sound. There it goes. Nav logo lights on. Strobe auto. Let's see. No smoking on. Emergency lights armed. No real passengers, so we don't have to really worry about this stuff. But we'll just kind of go through the same setup. Get this turned up because it is kind of bright out here. Late afternoon. Kind of a throwback to the older plane, the older A320X version. Let's see. So welcome on in. Just joining, doing a cargo flight from Mobile, Alabama to Memphis, Tennessee. FedEx. Get our clearance. Not 100% sure. Check how we do our weights and balances on this plane. Cargo, let's send the request. Alright, you see the cargo 44.8, so we're going to start that boarding. Basically, it's just going to be putting on the cargo. That's probably going to take a while. They're doing it out here. None of the doors really work for this cargo plane. It's not truly a cargo plane, but it does have... They do bring out the cargo lift back there. Going into where it should be going, but there is no door on this livery. Well, that's going to take a while. Sim breathe. Yes, yes. Just getting my flight plan worked out here. Okay, we're gonna go runway 36 right. That's loading up. Let's get the, let's see, checklist. We got the external power strobe lights, the deers, all the way down there. Alright, so we're just getting to the MCDU setup. We don't have to worry about passengers boarding today. We do need to get fuel, so we're going to get the flight clearance.
Mobile clearance, FedEx 860, parking 38, request clearance to Memphis with information Alpha. FedEx 860, cleared to Memphis, runway 32, fly runway heading, climb and maintain, 2,400, squawk 6553. Cleared to Memphis, runway 32, fly runway heading, climb and maintain, 2,400, squawk 6553. FedEx 860. FedEx 860, redback correct. When ready, contact mobile ground 121.9er. When ready, contact mobile ground 121.9er. FedEx 860.
Alright. We got our clearance. We're gonna jump down into the flight computer. You can see the cargo is gonna take quite a while to get on. Go to a init page, and we can actually request it, so it's up to date enough that we can request stuff. That's gonna go nice and quick. We'll double check everything. So let's go over here. Flight plan. I'm just gonna make this flight plan thing a little bit bigger. There you go. How's that look? I think it's gonna be a little bit better for you guys to see. So there's the flight plan. Move this over so we can see. We're going KBFM to Memphis, and our alternate is St. Louis, flight number 860. Cost index is indeed 12, right up there. Cruise 380. Wind and temperatures, we can just request all those, but we really don't need it. Oops, format error. So init page 2. That'll be a little bit later. We can put the trip headwind. That's going to be average WC. It's going to be minus 17. That means we have a headwind. Wind coming at us at 17 knots. Go to our flight plan page. Double check. We are going first direct to Golf Charlie Victor. We'll insert our takeoff runway. Departure runway 32. Insert, no SIDS, nothing like that. Do have a discontinuity, we just go in the Airbus, we just go clear. Right. Clear. There it is. And we'll continue down. MEV. We have another discontinuity. We're gonna have we're gonna do arrival, and I believe we're gonna do an RNAV here. RNAV for 36 right. Well, I want to do ILS. I like to just have the ILS. We'll do the ILS 36 right. Star Hoberg 3. And there are no vias, so insert there. Oh, there is a transition though. So I think we can ILS runway 3 right, yeah? Didn't really ask for transition. Okay, that looks good. Going to the performance page. Again, this will be later, but we'll do flaps 1. Transition altitude. I think this will just give us, we can get our V-speeds. Yeah, there we go. So in this plane, I don't have to use a whole calculator for it. I'm going to do a flex takeoff temperature of 60. And this we'll have to wait until we actually have all of our fuel and stuff on board. Speaking of fuel, we need where's the fuel? We need 14,800 kilos. So I think ETSU, see menu, weights and balances. Nowhere for me to do that in there. I think we just go here, fuel. Falling over the fuel truck, and I think we just do it through. I think we do it through the weights and balances still. That's actually what it looks like it's doing. I don't know. To be honest. A little worried because we do need to get that fuel on. Like, does this interact? Hey, Mika. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if the weights and balances and everything is, It's an older version of the A330-900, I believe, so it's a little not sure what we're gonna get. I'm just gonna set the speed to 250 here. Don't really need to do this, but do in the Boeing. We did get cleared to 2,400 feet initial. Flight directors are both on. Parametric reference. Looks like it's 29.92. I'm getting 29.97 though. I'll go right there. How you doing, Mika? Glad you could make it for this afternoon stream. I don't know, maybe this will be kind of like an on and off thing. It'll depend on how the afternoon's looking. Depend on the morning flight. Maybe we can do an afternoon stream as well on the days off. I'd like to do that. Doing okay. Had a nice lunch. Got some Chinese food. Got some frozen custard. Just, did it start over? What the? Yeah, it started over. Alright, let's do instant. Let's see what happens. Okay, 0 fuel weight, center of gravity. That's out of whack. So we need to... I don't know what we're going to do, really. I think we need to do it through here. So, fuel, we need 14.8. Okay, that's as close as we're going to get. And then we're going to put in as much cargo as we can. Just kind of max everything out. There we go. That should be right. No, that isn't right. You can see our fuel on board. So it doesn't... How do I get more fuel on board? This is going to be a problem. Oh, here's the fuel page. There it is. That's what I was looking for. 14,800. Gonna take 4 minutes. Let's do it instant. Let's just get it on there, since we're kind of messing around. Center of gravity is still not right. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, so it's gonna be a pain in the butt that way, is it? Because this isn't really a cargo, but it's not really set up for cargo, so it's kind of weird. I don't think we're getting the weights right, because there's no way for me to put cargo throughout the whole plane. So in reality, I should have passengers, I guess. So I guess we could... I'll do... There's nothing I can... Can I do that? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Now it's in range there, but we want to get the payload up to about 40,000, so we'll just load all the passengers in too, I think. Let's see if we do that. No, my cargo should still be 30. Alright, I'm going to turn off the sounds for the passengers since we don't actually have passengers on board. Same with announcements and boarding music, don't need that. Yeah, payload looks about right. We'll go with that. We're kind of fudging it because we want to have weight in the plane as cargo, but it is a cargo flight. So I think we're good now. So what we can do, go to our performance page. Or actually init 2, 0 fuel weight, center of gravity, 16.1. That's still really weird. It should be in like the 20s. I think again we'll just kind of mess around, see how this works. Let's do 15 in the hold, and then we'll max out the passengers. How many passengers can I get on here? Okay. 10 in the hold. Let's do that. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty close to what we want. Kind of weird doing this with trying to do cargo. Fuel planning, that's not right at all, but we have 14.8. Takeoff weight is 187.2. Let's go to performance page. We are going to need B1 of 140, rotate 142, B2 146, and we are all ready to go there. Okay, so let's get our pushback and all that. Start a fuel pump. Get the APU going. Turn the beacon light on. So about, I think, an hour and a half for the flight today. Nice short flight for this afternoon. But then tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., bright and early, we'll be flying another short one, about an hour 50 minutes from Cordoba, Argentina up to Asuncion, Paraguay. And then we'll probably do a U.S. tour flight after that from, I believe, Memphis over to Atlanta, I think is what the flight is. Let me just check that. Yeah, I think we're going to be Delta going, yep, Memphis to Atlanta. So, a couple of good flights tomorrow. And then on Saturday, on the weekend, we'll be back in the world tour and flying a nice long one from Asuncion to Lima, Peru. So, some good world tour flights and some really good U.S. tour flights coming up. Alright, APU is available, so we'll turn on the bleed. Turn off the external power, get the fuel pumps going. Yes, I do have a fall mod. I forgot to change it though. I don't want it that much fall, but yes, I do have one. I should be early fall, but I put in the full-on fall one to take some screenshots for future streams, but so I'll have to switch that back. But we'll get quite a few fall trees today, I guess. A little early for it.
Refueling truck is on its way.
Alright, refueling truck's on its way.
FedEx
Don't really need it.
860, parking 38. Request pushback and start up. FedEx 860, pushback and start up approved.
Oh, we even said the parking spot.
Pushback and start up approved. FedEx 860.
Alright, we are ready for that, so let's get GSX. Prepare for pushback. Yeah, I always have a season mod in. Basically, every 45 days I change it. So right now, this 45 days, I should have the early mod. It's the Bajan 4 season pack. And I have the early... I should right now have the early fall, late spring for the south. So when we're flying in South America right now, we should be getting the late spring. Or the late winter trees, I mean. But I accidentally forgot to switch out my seasons here because I'm taking screenshots for the future streams and I'm already into like October. So that's what's going on there. Yeah, I think. For the fuel truck. I like how it realizes you have the fuel truck on the way too. But, alright, well we'll wait for that. We'll request attack. Oh no, we've got to push back. Where's the fuel truck? It's supposedly on its way. There it is. Yeah. I don't know which one's better, if Bajan Habashi or Accurex is better. Accurex seems to have a lot more fall colors than Bajan Habashi's. I'm a little disappointed sometimes. This doesn't look too bad for this time of year, but it should be at a certain point. Maybe late fall will have that. Where is the fuel truck? I think the fuel truck's gonna fall. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it looks. I think last year when I did it, I don't think we were flying it enough in the fall. We were kind of more around the equator, I think. We'll see how it looks. I like it. I'm not gonna buy the Accurex because I already spent money on this one, and this one is good enough. And I think the trees are beautiful. It really shines in VFR, of course. Alright, are we good to go here? Have a good trip. Oh. What the heck is that? Have a good trip. I want to... Can I... Okay, I guess I'm not going to get a pushback here. I kind of need a pushback, though. Alright, I'm going to restart the GSX. Because I really like the pushback system they have. And I don't think we can really fly or push forward here. Yeah, we're going to hit these poles. So we do need a pushback. Just barely clear. I'm not even on a pushback. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do the custom one. I'm going to kind of want to push back over there. I think. I believe the runways are right over there, yeah. I'm going to try to push back over into that corner. Let's see if this works. Alright, prepare for pushback and departure. Okay, good. Yes. I do. Okay, there's our guy. Awesome. He's ready to go.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
I don't recall even picking the FedEx ground handling. It just is the default for this airport. Maybe there are no other options. Usually with GSX you'll get some other options you can pick and choose. But really cool you do have FedEx, which makes sense. And I think Memphis should probably be the same where we are. He's gonna be hooking up the pin. Let's see if it actually works on this plane. It works natively with... Yeah, it's not working with this plane. But it does work with the A330-900 and the PMDGs, and I believe the CRJs from Aerosoft as well. But this one's obviously a freeware, the A330, so we'll see how good it works.
Locking gear.
Okay, locking the gear.
New Orleans ground, American 14902, runway vacated with Charlie. American 14902, taxi to gate 345 Charlie, Bravo, Alpha, hold short of runway 1129er. Taxi to gate 345 Charlie, Bravo, Alpha, hold short of runway 1129er, American 14902.
So usually they tell us to release the brakes. I think we can release the brakes, right? Yes, no, maybe so. He's shaking his head like, what are you doing? Okay, I think we can release the brakes. This has been an issue where... Yeah, so it might not work. Oh, that's a bummer. Let's see if I can... Maybe we can work through this. Let's go. Yeah? Push? Yes? No? Do I have to do something else? Oh, I have to pick my... Continue pushback. Yes? Oh, okay, here we go. Quick edit pushback.
Ground, Southwest 6963, runway vacated with Alpha. Southwest.
Okay, so we get this little editing thing. Not sure how this works.
Taxi to gate 335 Alpha, Southwest 6963.
Exiting from editing mode.
Release
Please
parking
wait.
brakes.
I have no idea what it's going to do for now. Okay, so I'm going to have to look into how to do that quick edit because that made no sense.
Release parking brakes.
Not at all like... Alright, release the parking brakes. Can we go?
Release parking brakes.
I did. Okay, so this is an issue with, again, the A330 because it's not native for the G. So this might not work. We're gonna probably have to just use the something else to push back. Kind of sucks.
Release parking brakes.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. Abort pushback. Oh, okay, no, exactly what I want to do. All right, so the pushback thing isn't gonna work. It looks like GSX is kind of eating up. I'm gonna try to do it with pushback helper. When all else fails, pushback helper usually works pretty well. It looks like we got an invisible tug though. Oh well.
Continue taxi by Alpha, American 1492.
Alright. Turn off my parking brake. There we go. Yeah, I don't know if this tug is just... Yeah, first of all, it's an invisible tug. Unfortunately. And the weather just randomly changed. So we'll try to do it with the... maybe the FedEx one we're going to be doing from Philadelphia to Harrisburg. We'll try it with the 747 or something. Or the 737 cargo, because I think GSX works a little bit nicer with those planes. This was an attempt. I'm a little bummed because my favorite part of the GSX is the pushback that they have. Okay, parking brake is off. I'm guessing it's just this is a very heavy plane or something. The beacon light is on. We're going to start up the engines, so we're going to go right down here, ignition, and starting engine 2. Hopefully this works. Actually, yeah, fuel pump's on.
Pensacola ground, Lindbergh 4578, gate 4. Request pushback and start up. Lindbergh 4578, contact Pensacola Tower 119.9er. Contact Pensacola Tower 119er.
Of course, I muted myself.
Lindbergh 4578.
Anyway, we're having a hard time with this pushback. I think we can go straight now. We're almost to the point where we don't need. Alright, you finally got a flight simulator, none of your mods work. Where are you installing your mods? Once we get up in the air, I'll kind of show you what I do. I install my mods on a separate hard drive. Okay. So, first of all, you need to know where to install your mods, and I'm not 1000% sure where, but I have a pretty good idea, at least for Steam. Now, do you have it on Steam, or do you just have it through the Microsoft Store or whatever? Because I have it through Steam, so I'm going to be able to show you how to do it through Steam. I'm not sure if Microsoft Store is exactly the same way. Microsoft Flight Simulator did not make it easy. Zobo did not make it easy. They did not make it very straightforward. X-Plane, it's very straightforward. Here's your folder. This is where mods go. Boom. It's not too much Microsoft crap. Okay, Steam, it should be pretty easy. I'll show you once we get going here. I'll give you some screens. I'll pull up my screen and show you where it is. All right, and I'll help you get that set up. I'll even show you a cool thing that you can. Well, I'll do it on here because then everyone can see it, and it's very easy because you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it and then kind of follow along. You know, folk, you have it on stream too. You want to know how to do it? Definitely, we'll do it right here. I'll show you kind of. Hopefully, I'll be able to do it, and I'll show you a great way that you can put it in a custom folder too if you want. You don't have to put it in the specific folder. All right, I think we've cleared that poll. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna stop with this incredibly long pushback, and hopefully, we can move this plane. All right, so auto brake set to max. Cabin signs, I guess we'll turn those on. We can actually turn off the APU. We'll turn on runway turn off light and the taxi lights. The transponder is set. Spoilers armed, flaps to position 1. Anti-ice auto brake, we did that. Parking brake, weather radar on. Predicted wind shear on. And we're going to get our taxi clearance and we'll be ready to go.
Mobile ground, FedEx 860, request taxi.
FedEx 860, taxi to holding point, runway 32, by Bravo Alpha, hold short of runway 1836.
Taxi to holding point, runway 32, via Bravo Alpha, hold short of runway 1836. FedEx 860. Pensacola ground, Air Shuttle 6297, gate 1, request pushback and start up.
Alright, well, once we get up in the air, let me know which stuff isn't working. I'm using FS ATC. It's actually a payware, but it is AI. Again, I'll show you once we get going here. I'll kind of bring up my display, because right now I'm just showing the sim. It's up here in front of me, but you guys can't see it. Alright, let's get taxiing. We're going Bravo Alpha or something. We're going runway 32, am I right? Forgot what runway we're taking off from. Runway 32. Okay, so that's all the way at the other end of the airport, of course. Let's get going.
Pensacola ground, Southwest 5377, gate 9. Request pushback and start up.
Southwest 5377, pushback and startup approved.
Right there, I put my reversers on accident, because I forgot.
Southwest 5377.
Air Shuttle 6297, contact Pensacola Tower 119.9.
Contact Pensacola Tower 119.9. Air Shuttle 6297. Pensacola ground, Southwest 5377. Request taxi. Delta 933 Heavy. Contact New Orleans Tower 119.5.
Southwest 5377, taxi to holding point, runway 08 via Alpha. Contact New Orleans Tower 119.5. Delta 933 Heavy.
Taxi to holding point, runway 08 via Alpha. Southwest 5377.
Yeah, you need to download FSUIPC7. Sometimes this computer's going to say something's dangerous. As long as you're getting it from a reputable source, it should be fine. I think my computer said that too. It's just because the computer doesn't recognize it. It's, you know, it's a third party. It's not a major piece of software, and so it's doesn't have all the bells and whistles to make it, you know, your computer. You know it's safe as long as you're getting it from, again, a reputable place, which you're getting it off of. I'm not sure where you got it, but I'm guessing you're getting it from probably the same place I found it. Yep, you're gonna need that. You need to start that up before you fly, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if you have to point it at your sim or what, or if that automatically connects. Keep forgetting those reversers. Okay, not sure why this guy's here. Yeah, and I think it's automatic. I don't think you have to, like, link it up or anything, but you might. There are, I believe there's install directions from PackX. I think on the official website you have to pay for it though, because it's the latest final version or whatever. But if you can pick it up, if you pick up an earlier version, you can use those for free, and that's not illegal at all. They're totally fine with that. But if you want the final version of it, that would be payware. Yeah, but so PackX, yeah, that's simple. You just need to have, again, I think they in the documentation it tells you that you need to use FSUIPC, and every time you use it, you need to have that on, ready to go. Otherwise, yeah, you will just, it won't communicate, and so you can't really do anything with it. All right, we're headed all the way down to runway 32.
Gate 13 Fine Alpha. Taxi to gate 13 Fine Alpha. United 2214.
FedEx 860, contact mobile tower 118.3.
Contact mobile tower 118.3. FedEx 860.
Oh, you don't have to pay?
Mobile
Okay,
tower,
yeah,
FedEx
so yeah, check it out on the... It's been so long. I mean, I got FSUIPC,
FedEx 860.
I think, back
Contact ground 121
with, because I think you needed it for X-Plane. Well, I think X-Plane you need XP UIC or something similar thing. So obviously when last time I got looked at FSUIPC was way back when I first. Oh my goodness, I think my tiller isn't working properly. Yeah, it is. A lot of work to get this plane turned. What's asking for registration keys?
Mobile ground, FedEx 860, runway vacated with Alpha.
FedEx 860, continue taxi via Alpha.
Continue taxi via Alpha, FedEx 860.
Did you download it from the FSU IPC website, and was it a freeware? I don't know. Like I said, you're gonna have to figure out how to get FSU IPC. Yeah, maybe you can't get FSU IPC for free anymore. Back in the day you were able to, and now it's payware. So if you might have to pay for it, but that's gonna be. Sounds like you need to figure out how to get that. In the setup, when you install, you have an option to skip registering. Yeah, that possibility. I couldn't tell you exactly. I'd have to. Like I said, it's been so long since I've gone through that process of doing it and installing it, and I don't want to really uninstall mine and try to reinstall it just to see how the process goes, because if I have to pay for it, I will be kind of grumpy.
313, taxi to gate 12 via Alpha. Taxi to gate 12 via Alpha.
This plane does not want to turn.
FedEx 860, contact mobile tower 118.3.
Alright, landing lights on. Strobe light on.
FedEx 860.
Because all that fun stuff. Yep. Yeah, that's how it works with some things. You just have to skip the registration and then you can still use it. So it's probably payware if you choose to pay, and that's always a nice thing to support people that do great work like that in the community. Okay, we are ready for departure.
Mobile tower, FedEx 860, runway 32, ready for departure. FedEx 860, line up, runway 32. Line up, runway 32, FedEx 860.
Okay, that's good. So Fook is saying it's you did a whole install for free. You just have to skip the registration. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the full version of FSU IPC. I don't have the full version, and it does exactly what it needs to do for Pack X and anything else that's using it. So there's probably some extra features, bells and whistles, but I haven't noticed anything. I just noticed that with the glass. There's like a weird cut on the glass or something going on there. Alright, we're lined up and ready to go. Cleared for takeoff. We have a headwind of 8 knots. Alright, so we're going to hold the brakes. Build up the engines. Oh, okay. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember it being, if you need more functionality. Positive rate, gear up.
1,000. 118.5. Contact mobile departure 118.5. FedEx 860. Mobile departure FedEx 860 at 1,000.
Yep, good weather today.
Climbing 2,400.
It's supposed to rain all day where I live, and it rained all day yesterday when I was at work, and I got nice and wet. But today it's nice and sunny, so that's exactly how the weather seems to work. They say one thing and it's completely different. Alright, climbing to 5,000 feet. Alright, you downloaded it. Now, I think, did you select the folder to download it to? Location and download FSU UIPC to?
Climb and maintain
Or
14,000. Contact Houston Center 128.6.
Climb and maintain 14,000. Contact Houston Center 128.6. FedEx 860. Houston Center FedEx 860 at 3,300. Climbing 14,000. FedEx 860. Radar contact. Continue climb 14,000. UNH 1013. Continue climb 14,000. FedEx 860. Jet 943, radar contact, climb and maintain, flight level 330.
Climb and maintain flight level 330. Jet 943.
Blue Streak 5132, radar contact, expect climb at Sierra Uniform ILS, approach, runway 22 right, report when ready for descent. Expect to beam at Sierra Uniform ILS, approach, runway 22 right, report when ready for descent. Blue Streak 5132. Blue Streak 5132, ready for descent. Contact New Orleans, approach 118.9. Contact New Orleans, approach 118.9. Spirit Wing 61.
I'm trying to see where I have FSU IPC. Yeah, I just have FSU IPC. I just install it to a folder, and then you go in there. Once you install it, you picked where you wanted to install it, and then you go in there and there's an exe file. I then made a shortcut for that on the desktop, and I always start it up with Flight Simulator. So I'm not sure why you can't find it. It depends on where did you install it. Make sure when you're installing it to put it in a folder. I have basically all my Microsoft Flight Simulator stuff besides the actual game itself. I have it on a separate hard drive, a larger hard drive that I bought way back with X-Plane to use on my photogrammetry, but huge hard drive. That's where I keep all my mods. I keep all any programs that work alongside Microsoft Flight Simulator. Only thing I have, I think, on my my regular drive where Microsoft Flight Simulator is, and I think that's where they recommend you putting it, is on your Windows drive. That's the only thing I have on there. Basically, everything else is on a separate hard drive, and it links to Microsoft Flight Simulator. So if you're wondering how to do that, I can show you. But for the most part, yeah, FSU IPC, it's like installing any program. You just gotta when you're installing it, make sure you browse, put it in the folder where you want it on your computer. That way you can find it. If you just let it go default, it might install it. It's the same. There's so many things where they'll just install it in like app data, or in some weird, deep underground Microsoft folder, and I hate that. Always make your own folder. Set up your own file system, so you know where things are and it's organized. Because if you do it the way the computer usually wants you to do it, you'll never find anything. You'll just have hundreds of programs running, somewhere on your computer, and you won't be able to actually access and use them. Alright, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Shuttle 6297 inbound.
Turn off our landing lights.
Level 260, climbing. Flight level 330.
Like I said, I think I don't know how to install mods like directly to the community folder anymore. I do remember it seemed like when they first came out you couldn't like really nest folders too much. It says no PAX flight detected. Have you started a flight? So okay, let's start this up. Let me see. So I'll show you how it, and let me know where you're having problems. So you got PAC-X, you got it all installed. Did you start up FSUIPC? When you started that program up, you need to have that running, and then make sure FSUIPC is running, then start up PAC-X. Obviously you're in the sim already. Let me start it. Let me get my screen on so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I don't want to do that. Let me see. Go over. Where's my? There it is. Okay. You can tell you can see my screen. So here's what I was talking about before. This is FS HUD. This is the ATC. That's pretty cool. There's other traffic. It actually injects other traffic using Alpha India Group planes.
Radar contact. Continue climb 17,000 QNH 1012.
If you're not sure, Prayer Warriors, look on your taskbar in the little area where it has all the programs that are running in the background, and you should be able to find it. Now, mine's not running because I'm not using PAC-X right now. No, I'm not using the Memphis AI traffic. I'm using FS HUD, ATC, and then it injects traffic. So right here, like you have a flight timetable, all these planes are being injected, and here's like the model, and this is coming from AIG. It's coming from the Alpha India Group traffic, all those models. And so it's injecting all these planes, and they're all flying real flight plans around you. So they're gonna do things that make sense. They're not just gonna fly in circles, or you see a lot of them are parked, some are airborne. And they all have a schedule. They're all going places. It's pretty good. They don't fly smoothly, unfortunately, which is hopefully that'll be worked out in the future. These planes. Right now, they're being injected by Alpha India Group or by FS HUD. What you can do, you don't need to have FS HUD to inject AI planes and have really good liveries and all that stuff and different models. You just get Alpha India Group traffic, and they have a traffic injector built into that. And that's what I used for a long time. Then I got this FS HUD ATC, and what it does is it injects the planes, because with Alpha India Group traffic, it just injects planes, and the planes sort of fly around, they'll land, they'll take off, but they're not really on a flight plan, and so they don't really interact with you. Whereas these with the FS HUD ATC, all the planes are interacting with you. So the AI gets you into puts you on a star. Other planes are also coming on that star, and they're spaced out. There's separation, all that stuff, and it's pretty good. And so it's injecting all those planes. But if you want to do something free, Alpha India Group traffic is free. You get a ton of planes, and it injects, and it does a really good job of it too. It'll fill up your airports. It looks really cool. Climb into flight level 270. Yeah, remember, we're doing a cargo flight, so we might have a rough landing, not a big deal. Alright, Prayer Warriors, we'll see. Yeah, let me know when you're back, and I'll show you just starting up PAC-X and FSUIPC, how to go about it. Are you talking about the ATC here? Yeah, it's really nice. Obviously you get some options here of how you want it. I like to just have that so I can see. Obviously on the stream I usually don't have it so you guys can see it.
Street 5659er, ready for descent.
Southwest 49er 25.
There's only a few issues, and I'm hoping this gets worked out, but
Flight level 320.
here, traffic issues. Sometimes they can't find a call sign. So like this call sign is coming from Alpha Indy Group traffic. Moxie Dragster, but FS HUD doesn't recognize it, so when it runs into those, it'll just read out. It'll just say the flight number. It won't say the call sign, which kind of sucks. But because there are some like major ones like Speedbird that don't work, and those are major airlines like British Airways. So it's cool, and it works for the most part. It's a much better. I haven't tried the. I don't know if Zobo's updated the ATC recently. If that works better, but this one it typically works. You're gonna get the runway you're planning for, and if you want to change it, you can always change it, and ATC will adjust.
Climb and maintain. Flight level 360. Contact Memphis Center.
All right. Well, yeah. You let me know when you're back, Prayer Warriors, and I'll kind of run through a startup of PAC-X and what you should be looking for.
Memphis Center. FedEx 860. Inbound. Navy at flight level 270. Climbing. Flight level 360.
FedEx 860, radar contact, continue climb, flight level 360.
Are you saying FS HUD, ATC? Did you check out the website? I don't know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you if.
Allegiant 1963, radar
Let me
contact,
see.
maintain, flight level 330.
Maintain. Flight level 330. Allegiant 1963.
I'm guessing it is. It'd be cool if they did, do other languages. Obviously, in real life, it would be mostly in English. But that's not to say, obviously in the sim you can make it something more. Let me pull this up, and
Street 5333.
that's not what I wanted. Nope. There are a few places, and possibly even France, where they do this, where they will use the local language with local pilots, but that can lead to issues because if you're speaking French, both ATC and the pilot are speaking French to each other, well, everyone else doesn't know what they're talking about unless they speak French also. So big thing with ATC is it's not simply just communicating between a pilot and them, but everyone else being able to hear communications and kind of react. And there was a great video where I think in Mexico City there was a landing where they were speaking to the pilots in Spanish, and so people weren't able to catch that. Someone had been cleared onto the runway and another plane was coming in to land on that runway. Luckily, some people called out and said, "Hey, you're having that guy land on the same runway," but those two pilots didn't realize it because one was talking to ATC in Spanish, the other one was talking in English, and they weren't, getting that double, like, oh, I know that this plane is on the runway, ATC just cleared me to land, that can't be right. But if you're only getting half the conversation because you're getting just what's being told you, and you're not hearing what ATC is telling other people, which is sometimes important, just to know what's going on around you. You can kind of paint a picture in your mind. Oh yeah, that guy's been cleared for takeoff. I'm next in line. Oh, there's a guy coming in for landing, so I'm going to be coming in. I'm going to be taking off after him. Whatever it is, you kind of can build a picture a little bit.
Flight level 310.
All right, climb 360. I keep missing these climbs.
Skywest 509.
Oh, my overlay's not working. You know why my overlay's not working? Because I don't have I don't have FS UIPC 7. So my overlay is literally doing nothing right now because it's not I didn't even realize that. So my progress bar isn't working. My heading, all my measurables down there are completely useless because I don't have FSU UIPC on. And I will just give you a really quick look at what I'm seeing right now. So there it is. See the chat messages. I got your chat messages over there. But there it is. There's FSU UIPC starting up. So I wanted to kind of do that later when Para Warriors was here. And hopefully he comes back and maybe we'll do another flight. Just, you know, kind of start up a flight to just show you how that works. We're gonna put that away. But there it is, FSU UIPC. There it goes. Now the overlay is working. See our progress. We have about 26 minutes left on the flight.
Descend and maintain 5,400. Blue Street 5333.
You heard Blue Streak being called there. That's, I believe, PSA Airlines. That's one of the regionals for American Airlines. We're going to be doing a number of those flights coming up. Let's see. We'll open. Where are you? Yep, got a whole bunch of them coming here. Our next two flights, we're going to be going Memphis to Atlanta, Delta, and I think that's going to be in the 738. And then, thanks for the subscription, SG Trains Transportation. Thank you very much. Welcome in. Hopefully you're able to catch some of my streams, SG. If the stream time don't always work out, hopefully you can watch on playback or skim around and check them out. I usually stream at 6 in the morning on my days off, so those days off always kind of move around. This week I'm streaming today, Monday, tomorrow morning 6 o'clock, and then Saturday 6 o'clock. Mika, I'm not sure. Hopefully at some point we can do a community flight, kind of plan something. I need to kind of plan ahead. I mean, technically you could do it this weekend. I'm still trying to feel out when's the best time, when the most people would like to fly. It seems like when I want to do community flights, like maybe one person shows up and it's not so fun then, but at some point I would like to, and then again it would be having to figure out what's the best day. Probably a weekend, I would guess, but what works for the most people. But anyway, for our US tour we have a couple Delta flights coming up. We're going Memphis, Atlanta, and then Atlanta to Savannah, Georgia. We're going to be, the first Delta flight's going to be on a 738, and then the second one will be in the A320. And then I kind of mentioned these are very interesting climbs up to flight level 370. And then I mentioned Speed Blue Streak. Blue Streak. That call sign is a PSA Airlines, which is a regional for American Airlines. We're actually going to be doing a whole bunch of those in a row. We're going to be going Savannah to Charlotte, Charlotte to Greensboro, Greensboro to Washington, D.C., D.C. to Philadelphia, and so we have 4 of those in a row. We're going to be doing all those, I think, on the CRJ 700. That's going to be quite fun. Looking out my window right now, we're in Mississippi. That is actually Jackson, Mississippi, off to our left. I think that's right over there. Yeah, I think it's going to be Jackson right there. Capital of Mississippi. And that's the Ross. The Ross R. Barnett Reservoir. And then the Pearl River flowing out of that. There's a little bit of a dam. And then the Pearl River flowing out and through Jackson. I don't know if there's, I don't know if we have a certain amount of hours of flight for the tour. It's just, I kind of just call it a tour, but probably just going to keep flying, just fly all over the country as long as I want to fly all over the country. I'm guessing it'll be probably, to get from one end of the country, from Florida all the way over to California, and not to mention maybe going up to Alaska somehow or whatever. I'm guessing probably 100 hours of flight, at least. But the goal is kind of just to do short flights, about hour and a half, and go to some more regional type airports. Airports that typically I don't think about flying to. My goal is really highlight some of the freeware airports out there if I can. Definitely there's a lot more. If we were flying VFR, there'd probably be a few more flights that we could do going into some really cool handcrafted airports. Alright, we just got we're expecting MEV Holbrook 3 arrival, RNAV approach. That's not what we want. We want to do an ILS approach. Transition none. Holbrook 3, yep. And figure out where do we want to park. So this is all, we can set all this up actually in, what I'm doing right now is I'm looking at FSHUD ATC. And they give us this, and then we can overview the arrival, and we can actually change it. We can say, no, I want to go the other runway. I want to go to a different gate. I usually switch my parking is the thing I usually deal with. So I want to make sure we're going to an actual place. I'm not 1,000% sure, though. Let's see. Is there a cargo area? Problem is, this doesn't mean anything to me. I'm guessing these are going to be cargo. We're just going to put one of those. Doesn't really mean anything. We're just going to go park in the cargo area anyway. I think maybe we want that transition. Fly. Alright. My favorite destination so far? Oh, I don't know.
Arrival, ILS, approach, runway, 36 right.
Expect Oscar 3, arrival ILS, approach, runway 36 right, FedEx 860.
FedEx 860.
I'm trying to think of a good airport because my favorite ones are the ones that are, handcrafted, beautiful airports. My favorite destination so far, I don't know. That's a hard one. I have to kind of look back at my flights. One I really enjoyed was when we flew into Madrid. That was right after the Spain update came out, and so it was a really good. I think Madrid's handcrafted, or it looks pretty good. I don't know how handcrafted it is, but lots of planes were parked there with my Alpha Indy group traffic. So I enjoyed that one. I think I don't know if it's my favorite, but one I really enjoyed was the Åland, the Finnish island, island between Finland and Sweden. That was a pretty cool one. I think we flew the ATR 72 in there. and it just looked really nice. It's a handcrafted airport, freeware. So those are my favorite destinations. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm not sure though which one is my favorite that I've been to, but there have been some really good ones, and are ones I would like to. Be really cool to fly those again and again and again. So I think if you see a flight where I'm flying to a place again, it's because I really liked going there the first time. We haven't done a ton of that because I'm doing the world tour, and the world tour and the US tour, it's flying from this point to this point and this point, and just trying to see all these different airports. I want to see what's out there and what looks good. Some airports I never want to go to again because they're not really great. Like New Orleans, there's nothing really there. The default airport, and there's no freeware. I don't even know if there's a payware airport for it. Dublin, Ireland would be one I'd like to fly into again. I'd have to buy the payware for that, because I think there is a payware airport out for it now. I don't really want to buy too many payware airports. I think some of my favorite destinations are going to be once we start landing in the Caribbean, though. Smaller airports, great sceneries, great free sceneries as well that are available, with the option for payware as well. Yeah, are we gonna start descending? Oh no.
Blue Street 5333, turn right to heading 157. Turn right.
Yeah, I don't think this has a top of descent on it.
Blue Street 5333.
No.
Blue Street 5333, maintain 2,200.
Alright, let's get the weather.
Blue Street 5333. Blue Street 5333, cleared ILS, approach at 2,200, runway 16 left, report established on localizer. Cleared ILS, approach at 2,200, runway 16 left, report established on localizer. Blue Street 5333. Blue Street 5333, established on localizer. Blue Street 5333, contact tower.
I also want to find.
Contact tower 120.
I kind of just blanked on what I was doing. Oh yeah, I want to go to the flight plan page. Over. We need to be okay. It's saying flight level 230 right there. Thanks for the follow on Twitch, Voitech94. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much.
Flight level 280, FedEx 860.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, thanks for the follow over on Twitch. I don't know if you're subscribed on YouTube, but please also subscribe on YouTube if you can, if you aren't already. That'll be helpful.
Southwest 4401, radar contact, maintain flight level 330. Maintain flight level 330.
Alright, we're descending 280.
Allegiant 1948, radar contact.
Alright, thanks. Thank you very much.
Climb and maintain 14,000, UNH 1014.
Alright, so we're coming up on Mhz.
Hotel uniform, Lima uniform kilo.
Yep, Hobart, we need to be at 280 knots and below flight level 230. And after that, let's bring this up for you guys. See what I'm talking about. Put that stuff away. Alright, so here's our approach, our standard terminal approach. Coming up on Mhz. We don't have C-plan in the flight plan, but I could put it in there if I want to do a hold. But here's Holbrook. We can do a hold there. I don't know if holding is possible in this plane. But we do need to be at 280 knots below flight level 230. Then we're going to be at Tammy, again 280 knots, but around 15,000 feet will be a good point to be at there. And then ROCAB, we need to be at 10,000. So actually we need, Tammy's not on. See, Tammy's that point. Never mind. Ignore Tammy. We need ROCAB. ROCAB 230, 10,000 feet. So we're going to have to quick descent in here. Come in. And at ROCAB, we're going to cut over to our final. So I'm going to bring up here. We're going to start putting some of this in. We're going to capture the glide slope. So this is going to tell me capturing the glide slope at McGee, 2,000 feet. Our final approach course is 360. The localizer ILS is 111.35. Airport elevation 341. Missed approach, we're going to climb to 1,000 feet, climb right, turn to 5,000 feet via heading 70 degrees, and then to the VOR Mike Echo Mike, or the radial for the VOR, which is right there, 40 degrees. We're going to follow that out to Oraku and hold at 5,000 feet for ATC to clear us. Hey, Prayer Warriors. Alright, you kind of just missed. I started up FS UIPC because I need it actually for my overlay. So I'm going to turn it off and let you see. I don't know why we're descending so slow. I'm going to put out the speed brakes. Alright, we're going to put that away for now. I'm going to give you a quick look at starting up FS UIPC. What you want to see when you're starting up FS UIPCs, you should see this. Mine's kind of cut off because I don't have it displaying my capture showing the whole thing. You should get that. You might get a little. It's kind of weird that it didn't do a whole. There's another box that will show up and say FS UIPC is loading in. I'm not sure what's going on here.
Envoy 4263, turn left to heading 257. Turn left to heading 257. Envoy 42.
So you can see my, there it is, now start up. So you want to get FS UIPC started. And when you start it up, there should become a big box that'll say Microsoft Flight Simulator. And then it will go to another box that will say FS UIPC. For some reason it didn't do that time. But you can always check in your taskbar where you have programs running in the background. You should see FS UIPC running. If that's running, then we're going to go start PAC-X. I don't need PAC-X for this flight, but I'm going to kind of show you. Alright, we need to send to flight level 190. Alright, where is my PAC-X?
Descend and maintain 6,000. Cleared local now 3 level. Exit jet 347. Southwest 3677. Radar contact.
Okay, so the problem is my PAC-X is loading up on another screen. So now you can see it's loaded up. It's saying on the bottom, my little bottom bar there, it's saying no PACs flight detected. So are you at this point, Prayer Warriors? Is this what you're seeing? You're getting that little no PACs flight detected down on that bar on the bottom, and then you have your menu here. Is that where you're at? Let's see menu. Receive messages. MEDAR. Print that out. Performance page. We're going to get this information plugged in. Okay, so I started FS UIPC. And when you do that, you're going to get, it's going to pop up. You're going to get a pop-up that kind of has like a little image of the Microsoft Flight Simulator box art, right, with the plane taking off. You'll then switch to another one that's going to say FS UIPC. So it's going to be two logos that are going to kind of show up on your screen, right in the center of your screen. Those are then going to disappear, and FS UIPC should then be running in the background. It'll be on your taskbar on the bottom, that little bar on the bottom where your start menu is and all that. It'll be in the taskbar, and it'll be in hidden, that little arrow, and it'll be hidden over there. But it'll be running in the background. You can check, it'll be one of your background programs. And then you're going to start PAC-X. And PAC-X will, a little thing will start up saying it's loading in the config. Mine is loading up on the other screen, so I can't get it to show. But you should get to this point. So make sure you have FS UIPC running. and then start up PackX, and you should get to this point where you have this menu, this little circular menu thing, and you should also, I don't think you have to activate this, but you'll have a little bar on the bottom of your monitor, and that should say no PackX flight detected because you haven't started a flight yet. Even if you're in a flight like I am, it's not started yet, because you need to start it. Here's the Mississippi River. Oops. Let's put that away.
Contact Dallas Tower 118.7 envoy 4Q63.
Wrong thing.
Expect Echo Lima Delta Uniform Juliet Mike 6 level Zulu Oscar Kilo Oscar Romeo on out approach runway 18 center report when ready for descent southwest 4401. November 7 Sierra Golf radar contact maintain flight level 330.
Oh, okay.
Flight level 330, November 7 Sierra Golf. Southwest 4401, ready for descent.
Yep, coming up on the Mississippi River. We're still in Mississippi. We're going to cross over the river into Arkansas and then back over into Tennessee. There's the beautiful Mississippi winding her way, technically winding her way south, but we're seeing it from the north. I have to go north. I'm at 19,000 feet.
Oscar Mike Alpha Romeo ILS approach runway 16 left. Report when ready for descent.
Uh-oh. My,
where'd it
go? Oh, they put it all the way over here, which is almost useless. It's basically useless to put it over here. We have variable winds at 5 knots. 10 statute miles for visibility. Clear, 28 degrees, 8 degree dew point. Our barometer is 2996. So we need this one, 2996. Temperature is 28. Variable wind, so we'll just kind of do 0 and 5 knots.
Descend and maintain 10,000, FedEx 860.
And we need our final, our minimum here. Our minimum, we're going to look, I usually just do Cat 1, 535 feet. Yeah, that's going to be barometer. If you want to use radio, that'd be 200 feet, or the 100 feet, no, 200 right there in the brackets, or parentheses, 200 feet above the runway. We're going to use the barometer, which is the actual elevation, 535. Yep, nice weather for a butter landing. I don't think it's going to be a butter landing because I am flying with my left hand, so that my right hand is open for using the mouse. I'm finding though that it might actually not be as good because then I have to keep taking my hand off the throttle to use my mouse. So I have yet to find the best solution. Possibly I need to put like some maps and buttons onto my throttle, like disconnect autopilot and stuff like that. But not sure yet. I think we're down 2996. We're going to close that out. So did you get the pop-up for the FS UIPC? It popped up and then it went away. If it pops up and then goes away, that's fine. It should be running. You can go to your taskbar. There's a little arrow like over by where you have the date and time on your right side. You can see like your sound, your internet connection, whatever else. There's a little arrow pointing up. You can click on that and you should see FSUIPC as a background program in there. So it should be running. If you start it up, it should work. It very rarely does not work when you start it up. As long as you get that pop-up, it means it's going to be loading in. It will load up. And if you're in the sim, you need to make sure you have Microsoft Flight Simulator open, then start that up, and then start PackX up. PackX will come up, start a flight. As you see, start a flight in Flight Simulator, open up PackX, and you should get to this point where I'm at, right here, where you have your menu, and you have the little gray bar at the bottom. And it should say no PAC-X flight detected because you haven't started one yet. So that's where you should be. Let me know when you're at that point. We're at 10,000 feet. We need to slow down once we get to 10,000. Plane's gonna start doing that. I need to make sure we can land here. The radio navigation. We do have the frequency 111.35, 360 degrees. I guess that's the same as 0. VOR, I'm going to put in the VOR for Memphis because we do have that radial if we do need to go around. And that radial is going to be 40, so I think I put in 40. I might be wrong. I probably should put in the other direction. But I think that's what we need. Alright, landing lights on. What did I get? OTR! Thanks for the subscription. Thank you very much. Welcome into the stream. Well, I don't know if he's watching the stream. Maybe he's just subscribed to the channel. It doesn't differentiate. Alright, we are cleared for the arrival. I don't know if that means I can descend. Be nice to know. Well, roll cab, we need to be at 10,000, so we're just going to hold here. Turn on the constraints, we can see that. 10,000 feet, 230 knots. Plane is descending, or decreasing speed automatically. Alright, we got our landing lights on. Don't have to worry about passengers, it's just us here in the cabin, and I don't know what crew they have, like flight attendants, but we'll let them know. I'll do a little, I'll just let them know, hey, get strapped in, we're coming in on approach. We're gonna do medium auto brake. We're doing runway 36 right. We're gonna be coming from the south, landing north. Shorter runway, actually. It's not the longest runway, but it's 9,000 feet, so we should be fine. Do you mean it automatically bringing the speed down? Yeah, and I'm surprised it's working. I don't know what it's tapping into for how recent this Airbus version is using the the A330-900 stuff, but that's what it is using, and so most of the stuff we've had for the last probably 6 months at least in the Airbus A330-900 we're getting here. Alright, proceed direct to Hayden at 10,000 feet. Maintain 10,000. Alright, however, at Hayden we want to be at 10,000, or at 3,000 feet, sorry.
Descend and maintain 16,000, southwest 4401.
Okay, clear us down there. Prayer Warriors, you at this point? You got the menu? Let's see what he's doing. Hopefully you can get Prayer Warriors working on with the PAC-X. Which message? You should have this message. You should have on the little bar at the bottom of your screen. Mine's, obviously for the stream, mine's a little bit lower. But it's no PAC-X flight detected. What you do now, if you're in your flight, is you just go to menu, start flight, pick if you want to do career mode, or you can just do the flight. You can actually set it up, I think, in the settings. I'm not sure where settings are though. Oh, actually it's right here. You can go in the settings, you can set your SimBrief username, and connect it to SimBrief, and then when you start a flight, you can actually pull it right from SimBrief if you've already got a flight going. You know, fill in all this stuff, you can adjust the times if you want. Go next, pick how many passengers you want on board. This will automatically fill in as well if you're using SimBrief. I don't have, obviously, any passengers for a cargo flight. You can pick boarding music, custom safety brief, all this stuff. And then you hit start, and it will start. It should go. So give that a try. I'm not going to use it because we're on the cargo flight.
Memphis approach.
Alright, we are cleared to 3,000. Good. Well, let's get down there.
10,200, descending 3,000.
FedEx 860, radar contact, continue descent.
I wasted a little time there, I wasn't paying attention, so hopefully we can get down by Hayden, because Hayden we need to be at 3,000, then we need to descend again into McGee. So hopefully we can get down this 7,000 feet quickly. Camera's tilted over. Okay, I was going to say that's Interstate 55 right behind us. I think it's Interstate 55. Actually, no, it's not. 55 is further over. Never mind, I don't know. I think that's 55 though. Runs down along the... Yeah. Just past Interstate 55, headed south in Mississippi. Like I said, you can go into that settings. There's before you go to start flight, you know, back on that main circle menu, there's a little gear. You can click on the gear, and you can set your SimBrief username that you use when you use SimBrief. I don't know if you've ever used SimBrief before. Let me know if you have or not. I could show you that too. So here's SimBrief. That's just simbrief.com. You can set up an account, and then you'll set a username. That'll be the username you put in on PackX in that settings, and it will link directly to this. And then when you do you just set up a flight. You go over here, create a flight plan. You put in your airplane and flight number. You can look up real flights. You can just make up a flight. You don't even have to put in an airline or flight number if you don't want to. Put what airport you want to leave, what airport you want to go to. Pick your airframe. There's somewhere you can download the A330-900. There's a custom airframe for that. But if you don't have that, you can always use the A3. I believe the A20N is the Airbus A320neo. It'll automatically fill in all this stuff then, your flight time. You can set auto for freight or pick how many passengers you actually want, all that stuff. And then you'll hit generate flight, and yeah, maybe I'll have to do a stream and just kind of show you a way to set it up. We're kind of coming in on the landing here, but I kind of walk you through it. We can do a little, after I'm finished with this flight, we can kind of do kind of the way I set up a flight. I'll show you how to do it. And you kind of follow along. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun. We'll do that. So if you guys stick around, I'm going to do a little quick tutorial on how to start up a flight. And maybe in the future I'll make a little video too. But we'll kind of do a rough go of it here, see if Prayer Warriors can get it going. And maybe I'll think of more stuff as I go along that I kind of gotta... I'm assuming a lot of things, and it's... Obviously, this is the first time you've ever done any of this stuff, so a few things you have to set up, but it's not too much work. And SimBrief is free. There are things you can, if you want to get Navigraphs. I don't know if you're doing that, but we'll kind of go through that as we go. Planet Neutral, welcome on in. Alright, descend at 2,000 feet. FedEx 860. Alright, we're cleared for the approach. I think we got everything, hopefully. I've been distracting myself. Prayer Warriors has been distracting me. I'm going to blame him. No big deal, though. My pleasure to help out as much as I can. Like I said, I like to help, but sometimes I'm not the best at explaining things. Alright, McGee, okay, we're cleared to 2,000. There it goes. And the plane's looks like it's gonna automatically go down to 138 on its own. I haven't seen that in a while. Maybe that's just I'm used to the Boeing. But there's our approach speed, 138. Plane looks like it's gonna just start doing that on its own. We're gonna descend. And once we get lined up on our approach, you see the runway right there on the right. We're gonna hit the approach button and report established.
2,500.
No problem though. It's not a problem. All right, I believe this is 55, Interstate 55. I would come in here all the time. I think that's 55. Yeah. Oh no, that's the 55 south, and then there's a bypass. We're still over Mississippi. I would fly, or I wouldn't fly. I would drive into the southern part of Memphis all the time. There's a bunch of warehouses right over here that we would deliver to. Been a while since you played Memphis, Wojtek. What do you want to go by, Wojtek or what? I can't remember the other one. Yeah, it's especially if you step away from Microsoft Flight Simulator for a while, and I think the time between opportunities I get to play, you know, usually 3, 4, 5, 6 days, depending on how many days I work in a row. When I come back to the simulator, it's always fun. All right, approach. Let's get the speed coming down. 138. Start deploying flaps. Spoilers are already out. We'll get those armed. Landing gear down. Uh-oh. I didn't put on my... Uh-oh. I missed the... Where's the ILS? Yeah, where's the ILS? Something's not right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alright, we're gonna have to fly this by hand. Lost the ILS, I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened there. Whoa, descended a little too quick. Alright, landing gear down. Oh, there it is. I don't know why that diamond wasn't there. Why did it just showed up again? Did you see that? And then it went away.
FedEx 860, established on localizer.
Yeah, well, no one's on the plane. Well, except for other pilots.
118.3.
Contact Memphis Tower 118.3. FedEx 860.
Yeah, I'm not getting that. I don't know where the diamonds are. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Come on. I think it was loading in planes or something. There's gonna be quite a few FedEx. If I had Alpha Unit Group traffic on, there'd probably be a bunch of FedEx planes, but maybe not as many with the FSI. Looks like we're over. See, the diamond's way down there. Are we too far up? Alright, we're cleared to land. We got 11 knots coming at us. Well, if we have a firm landing, it's not a big deal because it's just us pilots and the cargo. Actually,
$500.
the runway looks really short. Yeah, localizer appeared and then it disappeared and appeared, disappeared, so we're a little high.
100 above.
Oh, we're good.
$100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Oh,
FedEx
jeez.
860, when vacated, contact ground 121.
Alright, there's the reversers.
When vacated, contact ground 121.0. FedEx 860.
Thump. But cargo flight, so not a big deal. Not big deal. Alright, we'll cut the reversers. And we'll come off on this high-speed Yankee 1. Yeah, not too bad. Hey, Vandy. I forgot that we're a bigger plane, too, so we're going to hit a little sooner. I was expecting... I always... You know, when you're flying a bunch of different planes, you kind of forget when you're going to hit. Wasn't too bad, though, especially... I don't think we were centered. We stayed in a line. So, that was pretty nice.
Memphis ground, FedEx 860. Runway vacated with Echo.
It's not Echo.
FedEx 860, taxi to parking 964 via Echo Juliet Hotel Mike Lima Golf.
Taxi
None of those mean anything because it's all wrong.
Via Echo Juliet Hotel Mike
Alright,
Lima
let's get the
Golf.
APU
FedEx
going.
860.
FedEx 860, contact Memphis Tower 118.3.
Yeah, we're gonna see what that landing rate was. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Like I said, we were on. I feel like I was on the center line. Usually I'm drifting back and forth, and really that one was just kind of, we were right on the center line. Kind of at like 40 feet, it was like suddenly thump, and I was like, ugh. Alright, I wonder if we park right here. What's this? There's FedEx stuff over there. Yeah, that's actually the cargo ramp down there, I'm guessing.
Memphis ground, FedEx 860. Runway vacated with hotel.
FedEx 860, continue taxi via hotel. Hold short of runway 2709er.
What's that up there?
Via hotel.
Oh, that's more cargo, it looks like up there too. Yeah, we're gonna go over there.
FedEx 860.
It was a little bit of a firm landing. I just looked at 561 feet per minute, so we kind of thumped, but we are in a cargo plane, so as long as we didn't completely destroy the landing gear, and I don't know at what rate that would be, it's not a big deal. We have a little bit of firm landing. We're going to do a little bit of bouncing here, it looks like. I wish I knew how to smooth things like this out. Because I seem to discover all these and...
5.
5. Did I just get another landing? No. If you hit those bumps too hard, you will. Alright, so we'll go over here next to some more FedEx. Prayer Warriors is still here. You want me to kind of walk you through a flight setup? We gotta hold short right here. Alright, yeah, once we get parked and unloaded, or we do our little check, are we gonna let clear me? Oh, we're not technically on hotel. I don't know where hotel is though, because I'm looking at the chart and there is no hotel. Or hotel isn't where they think it is. Yeah. We got off at Echo? There's no way we got off at Echo because... Oh, okay, I see Hotel Juliet. Oh. Whatever. We'll just park right over here. Looks like we got kind of a big plane compared to these other guys. Damn it. Damn it. Alright, good enough. Oops. We don't want reversers. Alright, so we'll get the APU going. Beacon light we'll keep that on until we're got the engines down. Engines coming off. Beacon light can come off, and we'll call for the ground power. Maybe. I don't know. Still trying to push back or something. See if GSX wants to work here in Memphis. Probably not. Looks like we're all kind of broken. Well, anyway, we're here in Memphis. We did the flight. Oh, away. Alright, so here we're in Memphis. Got all the rest of the FedEx nice and lined up. Quickly, we'll do a little recap or just a post-mortem here on the flight. There we go. Let's review it. And for some reason it changed my plane again. There we go. Alright, so there's our flight. Nice straight shot. A little angle up from Mobile over the Mississippi, cross it twice, and then come in. Nice approach. And we landed at 561 feet per minute, or 560.75 feet per minute. Not the greatest landing, but gets the job done. 55-minute flight time, 8,600 kilos burned fuel, 338 nautical miles. So not a bad landing. Yeah, I didn't think the landing was too bad, except for, again, the actual touchdown point. But you're not always going to float them. And considering we're just hauling cargo there, it's not the end of the world if it was a little rough. So, Prayer Warriors wants to do a little bit of a tutorial. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to kind of back out here. Don't really need to, but we will. Let's do that. Alright, so let's go over here. And we'll go to the main menu. Alright, let me get a little tunage going on. Where are you? Alright, so I'm gonna get my display up. Let's get this. Hey Limbo! We're just about to do a little bit of a tutorial. This is Prayer Warriors. He just got Misfits, got Microsoft Flight Simulator. First time really in a sim. So, this is how I set up a flight. Now, what way I can do this? Here's another one. I'm gonna go to. If you want to find like real life flights, there's a few different places you can go. You can go to Flight Aware and do a find flight, and just pick a couple airports. Where do you guys want to fly? Give me a couple airports you want to fly to, or an airport you want to fly out of, fly to. Another way you can do is you can go to flightradar24.com. And what I like about this one is what you can do is you can click on an airport. All right, so Oklahoma City, OKC to Oregon, or OKC. I don't know what OKC is. Oklahoma City. But what you can do is you can click on. We got some helicopter flights. Is this Oklahoma City? This one, Will Rogers. Okay, so here's Oklahoma City. What you can do is you can go more, and you can go to routes, and you can just see where real life flights fly to out of OKC. And then you can click. Okay, we want to fly to Seattle. We don't really have a flight to Oregon, but again, you can always make that up. Here you can see, so this is where you can get some information if you want to do a real life flight. Again, you don't have to put all this information in. This is usually what I do for a flight. I kind of wanna, but I don't have that turned on though, I don't think. I don't have Milwaukee turned on. Not sure. Doesn't really matter. So let's say we do this flight. We'll do, unless you have, so you want to go Oklahoma City, where do you want to fly? It could be a made up one. We'll do a real one here. So what I usually do is I'll go here and okay, this is flight 14 or OKC to Seattle, and then I'll go back to Flight Aware, and I'll put in OKC, and I'll put in Seattle, and I'll see what real flights, because they'll usually have some more flights, and you can see all the real life flights. These are obviously not direct. Here's a direct one. We'll do Alaska. I don't know if I have the livery for it loaded in. Probably not. We'll see. Click on it. And what I usually do is I just grab, right here is ASA 1405. That's your flight. So go over to SimBrief. Now, SimBrief, you're going to want to set up an account. I'm already signed in. You're going to create a username. So this is my name, but I also have a username. That username you're going to put in to Pack X. You can put it into your A330-900. There's multiple things, whatever most programs or planes, you can actually put in your SimBrief username, and it will link to SimBrief, and then you can just import directly whatever flight plan you've created here on SimBrief. So what we're going to do is create a flight plan. So airline, Alaska Airlines, that flight is 1405. Again, this is totally optional. You really don't need to have that in there. What you do need is you need your takeoff airport and your arrival airport. Again, pick your own airports. Doesn't need to be. This is just for tutorial purposes. Airframe, well, let's do the Boeing 738. Again, if you want to do the A320X, there is a custom airframe. I don't recall where you download, probably on their Discord. You can find this. And if worst case scenario, you can just use the A20, and that is the A320 profile. You want to make sure you have the right plane profile, because this will deal with your fuel and weights and all that. But what's really nice about this is you can pick the 738. That's the plane we're actually going to be flying. In real life, it's flown on the 737-900, but we only have the 800. And again, you can always switch this. You can do it on the Airbus, whatever you want to do. It's all up to you. You pick. If you want to do the real life flight, whatever you want to do. So I'm going to do that. That's my airframe. This stuff, you don't really have to touch any of this, really. Here it's going to show you the scheduled flight time, 4 hours, 5 minutes. Your runway departure. It's automatically going to fill this stuff in depending on the weather. You can always change it though if you want. I usually leave all of this stuff the way it comes. I go auto for freight because I want to put a little bit of cargo on board besides the passengers. I keep my passengers auto, but you can set how many passengers you want. They'll change your weights, all that. Here's your route. You have some options for routes. I think Yeah, now yours might be different because if you don't have Navigraphs, a subscription to Navigraphs, it will not keep your air rack cycle up to date, and that's a whole nother thing. So we can go into that. If you're interested in getting Navigraphs and setting all that up, we'll do that. Limbo saying New York to Atlanta. I missed that, sorry. Well, this is just an example. I'm not going to do this flight. I don't have 4 hours or whatever. New York to Atlanta, that'd be 4 hours probably too. So here's your thing. Basically, you have your whole flight. It's set up a thing. And what you do now is you simply hit generate flight. Yes, it's going to overwrite my other ones. Not a big deal. I'm not doing those right now. I'm going to generate a briefing package. This is all free. The only thing that you might have to pay for is to update that air rack cycle, and that changes, and that might be something if you really get into it that you might want to do, but you can get away with not having to without doing that at first. Depends how serious you get. So now you have your flight generated. Let's see, we want to go into you can now print a PDF for it. You can pre-file or download. I would just leave it like this. I usually print the PDF or save a PDF version so I can look at it. But everything you're going to need is just right here. And if you're on the A320X, you can import this if you set up your sim brief to connect. So let's go set up a flight. So I've got the sim brief set up over there. Should have actually kind of been loading in. And we'll load in the... Let's see if I have the livery for the Air Alaska. I don't know if I do. Yeah, I do right there. Alaska Airlines. This looks like a throwback. Yeah, these are like throwback ones. Let's do that one. Don't worry about this stuff. If you're using the PMDG or the A320X or the CRJ, you don't need to touch any of this stuff in the weight and balance. Customization, this is where you can set your call sign. I think it's just Alaska, right? I get my call sign usually. I think Flight Aware shows you call sign. There it is. If you want to do that, depends how you want to do it. 1405. There we go. Departure airport. So this is how I set up my flights. This is actually the quickest way. Is just set it up like this. Just go where you're taking off from. Make sure you go to a gate if you want to do the whole startup process. There you go. You can set your flight conditions, all that. So we'll set live time. All players, that means all players that are on flying multiplayer, they're going to show up. Live players, it'll only show players that are using live weather and live time. Depending on what you want to show for air traffic, I have it off because I use Alpha India Group traffic for my AI traffic. But yeah, there you go. You can set your time, you know, time of year, all that stuff. Lots of customization you can do. But I used to put in the arrival airport when I was using the in-game ATC because then it will recognize where you want to go. If you're not using the in-game ATC, if you don't want to use that, don't put in your arrival then, because what you'll be able to do is really easily just be able to import your sim brief right into the plane. At least for the A320X. It doesn't work this way on the Boeing. Boeing, you'll still have to do this by hand, which is not too hard. We'll go in here. Actually, there was a few other people I saw. A few other people. Heck, it could have been even you, Prayer Warriors. I don't know. Alright, so that's Flight Aware. So sim brief. We have our flight plan generated. So this is generated, this is up in the cloud. If you link your sim brief to the A320X, maybe I should load in on the A320X. That's what I should be doing. I don't know why I'm doing it here. I don't know what... Let me back out. Let's do this in A320X flight, because you're probably going to get the A320X. You're going to get the A320X because it's a must-have. So we'll set this up with the A320X. I don't know if you're going to get the PMDG. Actually, I can... I think I can actually... Someone else flying. I'm gonna see if this will work. It probably won't. It doesn't always. You can turn. I want to do a quick reset of your flight. Just go in here, fly. I want fly by wire. Doesn't look like I have. I'll just do the Allegiant. Probably broke it. The A320X is the it's a freeware mod for the Airbus for the A320, which is a default aircraft. So if you want a really good free plane, so you don't have to go out and buy the PMDG right away if you don't want to. It's like $70 for that. This is the plane I've flown a ton of times in sim. The Airbus. So the sim comes with the, I believe the Airbus A320 comes on every version of the sim you get. I don't know if you're on, I'm assuming you're on PC. What is going on here? Whoa, okay. So this is the A320X, which is a mod for the Airbus A320. It actually adds in a whole new plane. It's so advanced. So I'll kind of show you where to get that a little bit later. But you're going to come in here on the A320X. This is not going to work on the default A320. You're going to go to the fly pad. You might actually be able to do it in here too. You're going to go... Whoop, that's not what I want. Yeah, kind of just trying to find out where things are on here. Alright, so this is how I set up a flight. So what you can do in the A320X is you have all these different options. One that you want to look for is right here, ATSU AOC. And you want to automatically import SimBrief data. You could do that and it'll just automatically import it. You don't even have to press a button. But you're going to need to put in your username or pilot ID. I'm not sure if I need to have my number in there. I think I could also put in my actual name ID. As long as you have that in there, the A320X will import all this information. Okay. Thank you for that. It'll just import this right from SimBrief. And then you can go about your flight. Doing all the fun stuff that you've seen me do many times on our flights. So we got SimBrief up there. I think I have FS UIPC still running. Again, anytime you load into Microsoft Flight Simulator, you need to start FS UIPC up again because it will shut down when you shut down the simulator. So if the simulator crashes, you exit, whatever it is, you're going to have to restart that. I already have it going. I'm going to start up PackX. And so I did that SimBrief. And in here... Where is my... I'll just show the whole screen. Here we go. Alright. So what we're doing is... You want to go into your settings on PackX. There's a few different options. These are all things you can choose. But the big one is you want to set up your SimBrief username. That's the one that you created when you created an account on SimBrief. You're going to put that in. There's mine. You can set your audio levels for the, all that. Again, these are all just in... These are things that you can choose, but this is the one that you need, SimBrief, and that's going to make it really easy that when you start a flight, boom, it loads in what we just set up. We set it up OKC to Seattle, Alaska 405 or 1405. It automatically puts in the cruise altitude, the flight time. You can always adjust the flight time. I usually give myself an extra 10 minutes or so. And then you just hit next. It's going to fill your plane up. We're in the A320X actually, so we can change that. Oh, sorry. There we go. I'll go back here. Sorry about that. I always forget. Okay, so here you're gonna go to this gear, and you're just gonna want to put in your sim brief username. So if you set that up, if you followed along as far as we are, you're gonna throw in your username. I don't think you have to hit enter or anything. Just make sure it's in there. Close that up, and then try to start a flight. And if you have a flight brief over there on sim brief, if you're already on this page, so you've dispatched, and you're on the page where you can't really change anything anymore, that means you've dispatched. Now you only have this edit flight button. You should, when you start a flight, it should load in exactly what you've done. So here you got Alaska 1405, Alaska 1405, KOC, K Seattle. You can do this all manually too, but it's very quick if you just have SimBrief connected. Go in. We actually changed planes. It thinks I'm in the 737 because that's what I briefed it for, but we'll do this. I think I have 150 passengers. Decide what you want to... all the different settings you can try. Customs cards if you need that. Boarding music. PACX will actually... let me hide that. PACX comes with... and it'll load it in your My Documents section. It'll be a PACX folder, and they'll have boarding music, custom safety briefs, and it'll just be audio files. It'll also have airplanes. You can download different layouts for your airplanes. You can download boarding music. You can make these yourself if you want. Same with these. You just have to record audio, save it as a WAV file. And if you look on flightsim.to, there are some of those available there as well. And then you just hit start, and now the flight is started. You can see my bar on the bottom has populated, expected departure. Passengers are now boarding, doing their thing. That's how all that works. I want to kind of bring up my display again. Alright, I want to show you fly-by-wire. So this is the must-have. The must-have fly-by-wire sim.com. This is the must-have mod or anything. This is what you need to get. You need to get the A32NX. If you get nothing else, if you've already gotten PACX, so you already bought more than you need to, really. If you get nothing else for Microsoft Flight Simulator, no other plane, anything, you must get the A32NX because it's the best plane in the sim for free. If you're going to fly the Airbus A320 at all and you're not using the A32NX, you are missing out, and shame on you. If you watch my streams, I'm using the A320. Whenever I'm flying the Airbus A320, I'm using the A32NX. Comes with an installer. I believe we just go here, hit download, save it where you want to save that. Download, open it up. You will then get this nice installer here. It's going to pop up. There it is. And this is the latest version. And it's got the A320X. It's got a little section here for the A380, which is going to be coming someday. You can also download this scenery for KBFM, which is a fictional airport, I guess, where they have a little, I think they have the A380 sitting there, and you can maybe look inside it, I think. I haven't downloaded it. Also, you're going to want to download SimBridge. Get that, and that will just get that installed as well. But here's your A320X. You have a stable version, a development version, and an experimental version. So I think technically the most stable version probably you're going to get is actually the development version, because stable only releases every few weeks or months. And it's completely stable, but it can get out of date. You're not getting the latest stuff, and if there is a bug, it's going to take a while for that bug fix to get into stable. Development, this thing gets updated every few hours. It's getting updated, it seems. Experimental doesn't update as often, but it's also the furthest along. I'm using experimental right now. You can tell you're using experimental if you have red stickers. These used to say inoperable. They've scratched them off because the terrain is actually operable now. Unfortunately, they use the same exact texture, and now you think your weather system works too. It doesn't. This should still have an inoperable. But if you're using development version, it'll be yellow stickers for the inoperable. So that's how you can kind of quickly tell which version you're using if you're not sure. But I have experimental. Development, I would also, if you want something stable, but you have the latest, you're always getting pretty advanced stuff included in your A320X experience, I would go with development. I would recommend development. Is the best one to use. Experimental if you want to try it, but there are some bugs. They're more likely you're going to hit some bugs than in development or stable. Also with this installer, they have an installer for the, they've teamed up with Salty Simulations for their upgrade for, alright, close back X, I don't want to hear that. Their upgrade for the 747, so if you download the A320X, you automatically can get here, and you can either choose the stable or development version of this plane as well, and it'll automatically install. And then there's the A22X, which is not out yet, but it's coming, hopefully. In your settings for this, you're going to want to point where you want to install your plane. Typically this is going to be your community folder. Yeah, I like it that it's in here now, because now I can just install it and not have to do the whole zip thing. This is key, is where's your install directory. So I'm going to bring up my... here. Okay, so what I have, I think my sim is installed on here. I think this is where it is. Sim apps. I have so many Steams all over my computer. I've got 4 hard drives, you can see. Okay, Flight Simulator. So my Flight Simulator is installed on my solid state drive. Not my fastest solid state drive, but it is on a solid state drive. If you have a solid state drive, that's that's going to help with performance. So if you have it on Steam, you should be in Program Files, Steam, wherever your Steam apps are loading or are being installed. Steam apps, Common, and then Microsoft Flight Simulator. I believe this is where, I might be wrong, you have to look this up. A good way, I'm not sure if there's how you check this, but you're gonna go into Microsoft Flight Simulator, Packages, Community, and this, yes, this is where you're gonna have your mods. Okay, so this is where you're gonna have your mods. But as you can see, my mods are actually not in this folder. None of my mods are actually sitting in this folder on this hard drive. You can see this little icon right here on the edge of this folder. It's actually a virtual link. So this is a little bit advanced, inside baseball. It's this cool program, and I believe you can get this on flightsim.to. It's called MS. What is it called? Memphis add-ons linker. Now you can't really run this or change anything while you have the sim running. None of the changes you make are going to change. But what it does should be loading in. We'll put away. Well, we'll keep this up for now, but yeah, man. I think it's loading in. Okay, it's running, but it's not, I can't see it. Alright, here we go. So this is FS or MSFS, Microsoft Flight Simulator Add-ons Linker. Great program, powerful program. And it's really only useful. You can use it actually. I think you could use it on the same hard drive if you want to put all your mods in a different place. Basically, what it's going to let you do is put your mods somewhere other than the actual community folder in right here in this thing, right? Steam apps, Common, Microsoft Flight Simulator, Packages, Community. This is where you need to have your mods that you want to be using. Even if you have only one hard drive, this is actually a cool program to use, because what you can do is, so this is where you need to have the mods for Microsoft Flight Simulator to actually use them. But what you can do with this program is I'm going to open up a different location. Now this location could be on the same hard drive. Mine happens to be on a different hard drive. And what I do, what is community? I think this is just a backup, so ignore that. I created a folder on a different hard drive, but you can create it on the same hard drive, create a folder, and I called it Memphis 2020 add-ons. And then you can set up your folder however you want to. You can set it up how I have it set up. You can go by creator, whatever you want to do. It allows you to organize your mods in a nice organized way. If you put your directly into the community folder, it's all just alphabetical order. Every mod is just thrown in there. It's very hard to take things out, put things in. But if you go over here, I have it more organized, right? Here's my aircraft. Here's all my scenery, right? And I got it broken up by country. I have it, here I have the US, and then I have it broken down by state, and then sometimes I've even broken down by city if I have quite a bit of scenery there. But what's great is none of this scenery is activated until I activate it in MSFS Add-ons Linker. So let me back out of, I don't actually need to back out of, we'll just keep this open, doesn't matter. Back over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, I'm just going to save this preset, just so I have it. What day is it? 220912. That way when I do this I can get back what I have. I'm gonna turn off all the add-ons. Alright, that turned off all the add-ons. So everything's red. Some of this stuff is, I don't know, you're gonna get some random junk laying around. Not a big deal. Now I don't think that's gonna actually change anything. I actually do have to back out of the sim. Oh no, it's still in the sim. So you see, I've just lost a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff actually disappeared from my community folder. Not everything. I'm not sure why. Yeah, you can see these. I could actually delete these, I think. Let's see if I can delete these. Yes, no. Okay, so there, they all disappeared. So everything that's activated in here is available in here. Yeah, so as you can see, some of these things, and so some of these things are gonna, if you have PMDG, it's just gonna directly install things right into community folder. So don't get rid of anything in purple, because this stuff is stuff that's natively in your folder. So what I'm gonna do, and I think you need to be outside of Microsoft Flight. If you change anything while you're in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's not actually going to take, or it'll crash the sim when you try to use it. So you want to do this before you load up the sim. I've never tried it in sim. We could try it right now, actually. We'll do that. But let's say I want to use the... So again, this is all I have in my community folder. This is all that the sim can use now. So the only stuff that's going to show up in my sim mod-wise are the PMDG stuff, some Navigraph, my jetways, some AIG traffic, I think, whatever. But in my scenery folder, look at all the stuff or not my scenery, my add-ons folder, I have all kinds of stuff. I have gigabytes worth of assets and liveries and utilities, all kinds of stuff. But none of that stuff is activated right now. So what I can do, we'll put that over there on the other screen, is I want to activate an aircraft here. Let's activate the, where's my fly-by-wire? There's the fly-by-wire. Okay, actually I'm going to put, you guys can see that chat box, so it's in the way too. Not a big deal. Where'd that go? Where'd my add-ons go? There it is. Yeah, you don't want to... Right here it's saying, warning, the simulator's running, is probably not recommended. Okay, so it's not recommended to, but you might be able to. I have never tried it because of this. Continue anyway, yeah. So now, I activated that. It's activated, you can see it's in green. It is a link, and there it is. It just pops up. So what it's doing is it's going to the scenery, or it's going to this add-ons folder, and it's grabbing this folder. And it's looking at it has the address and everything, wherever the address is, there's the address for it, and it'll have that. And it's creating a virtual link, automatically creates a virtual link for you. It's like a shortcut. But it looks like, it's not just like a shortcut, it makes Microsoft Flight Simulator, it makes your computer think that this folder is actually right here. And so, but this folder isn't taking up any space on my hard drive here. I can organize everything here, and then it'll just get thrown in there. So I do all my organizing when I download a mod. I throw it in here, a mod that Microsoft Flight Simulator directly uses. If you have PackX, you don't need to put it in this folder. You can if you want, but I'd recommend just putting your mods that you're going to use in the simulator. But instead of putting, and what's great about it is that you can turn mods on and off, but they're always on your computer in an organized place. You don't have to just delete the folder, because then you have to find where you downloaded it or find the zip file or whatever. You have to keep those files. You can just put everything on, and then when you want to use, you know what? I don't want to use the fly-by-wire. I don't want it loading in, right? Well, let's have the fly-by-wire doing that. But I have a ton of liveries for the fly-by-wire, right? Look at all these liveries I have. I don't need these loading in every time I do a flight. What I usually do is I'll have a chunk of liveries, usually in the area where I'm flying, that I'm working on, either making screenshots or I'm going to be flying within the next couple weeks. But you know, I don't have my KLM activated on my preset. So let's do the preset. So there, I just put my preset. Look at all the stuff that is now loaded in, that is now available for Microsoft Flight Simulator to use. And if I want to get rid of some of that stuff, I want to get rid of LATAM, I'll get rid of LATAM. I can get, you know, I'm doing, you know, someone requested a flight over in Turkey, so I'm going to be using Turkish Airlines. Okay, well, here we go, Turkish Airlines. Alright, now it's in there. Now Turkish Airlines is available, there it is. You know what, I don't want to use it. I'm not doing that flight. I don't want to waste my time loading it. Now it's gone, right? So this is a free, you can download, I believe, on FS, let's see, what is it? FS, no, it's flightsim.to. There it is. Flightsim.to. This is another great site. Save this site, memorize it, because this is where you're going to get most of your mods for Flight Simulator. And they also have a good section where you can find payware as well. But there's so much. You just search. So let's say we want to fly to Seattle. I think there might be some. Let's see if there's any mods for Seattle. Lately, it takes a little bit longer to load each page, but all right. So here we have let's see, this is, and it gives you star ratings, how many comments there are, how many downloads. Ooh, there's a GSX profile, or I wonder if that's for the default or not. So here's an enhancement pack. So this is free, which is really cool. It looks like he's put in, it looks like static aircraft, I'm thinking. You know, they'll give you, a lot of them will have, yeah, static aircraft. So he's added stuff, but I always look when I do a flight. You don't have to do this, of course, but this is usually how I go about things when I do my flights. Is, you know, for example, we just did today we did this morning. Where did I fly to? I flew to let's see, we flew from, that's Falkland Islands. Let's see if there's anything Falkland Islands. Well, I don't want Egypt. Let's see if there's Falkland Islands. No. We flew to Cordoba, Cordoba Seco, that's what it was. Okay, like here there's nothing, but there is another way you can find scenery on here. Go scenery map. This is actually my favorite way to do it now because I can find scenery that I didn't even think existed. So we flew to Cordoba. Okay, that's the military. Now there's a pack somewhere. There's a whole pack for a bunch of airports, but anyway, let's say we're flying. I know there's a lot of beautiful airports being made out here. Okay, let's say we're flying to St. Bart's, right? So here's St. Bart's, here's the airport. Here's an upgrade for it. Awesome. Let's see what it looks like. Look at the screenshots. That looks pretty cool, right? Check it out. All right. It'll give you a, if the person's a good creator and they'll put a lot of information about it. You download it, and then you take your download, you unzip the file, you put it however you want. You either put it directly in your community folder over here on the right. You can do that, or you can use MSFS add-ons linker, and you can set up a file system. And like I did scenery. You know, you want to make sure. Well, it doesn't really matter if you have a bunch of extra folders, but I like to be organized. But here I have this airport for Anguilla, and it's in here. It's on my hard drive. It's ready to go whenever I want to use it. And then when I want to use it, I just go into add-ons linker. I go, let's see, where was it? Scenery. Anguilla, I already have it activated, but I can deactivate it. I can activate it, right? And it's going to change over here. You can see how the files kind of move. So let's disable everything again. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do a little test. I didn't try this before. I've never tried this before. I'm really wondering what would happen if I tried to do the A330-900. I'm surprised. Yeah, see, nothing's changed here, so I'm guessing maybe nothing actually takes until you exit the sim. Because that's the A330-900. I don't have the A330-900 activated technically, but I'm thinking it doesn't actually affect it until you exit in and out. So I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there. So I think the kind of a short rundown. We'll do a quick rundown of what to get you started, prayer warriors especially, but anyone really just getting started with MSFS. Some key files, and I can also let me just kind of look, because on my descriptions for my flights, I kind of have some key files that I think are really good ones for you to use. Let's see. Actually, yeah, you're gonna need FSU IPC right there. You already have PAC-X, but again, some of these are optional. FSU IPC is going to be, you know, if you do some other stuff, you're going to need it. Yeah, these are all payware, so you don't really need these for 100%. You have your notes. Okay, so let's do a quick review here. Well, I want to do a test, but I'll do that after I do the quick review. The teacher and me, we want to do a quick review. So, the first thing I'd say before you do anything, you already have PackX, that's great. Next essential mod, PackX is an essential, but an essential mod is to get a fly-by-wire A330-900, get the installer, download it, install it, start it up. And I was showing you where this is, that kind of why I left this open, is you're going to want to set this folder. So if you're not going to use the MSFS add-ons linker, which I really think you should, you're going to want to point the install directory for your all these planes. You're going to want to point it at your community folder for MSFS. So it's program files, Steam apps, common, Microsoft Flight Simulator, packages, community. And then you aim it here, and everything you download in this installer is going to install right there. I would suggest not doing that. I would suggest creating a new folder called Microsoft Flight Simulator add-ons, mods, whatever you want to call it. Organize it, put some folders like aircraft, liveries, etc., however you want to do it. And then point, especially since if you have an aircraft folder within that bigger one, point it at that aircraft folder and it will install automatically all your planes, your A330-900, Salty right here. So Salty's right there. There's the fly-by-wire. The sim bridge will even install in there. So that's the first thing. Get the fly-by-wire, because fly-by-wire is it's the best free product out there for the sim. Second thing is you're going to want to go to flightsim.to. This is going to be your one-stop headquarters for most of your mods. 99% of the mods I use right here. Unless they're paid for mods, I'm basically getting all my free stuff here. And just look up add-on linker, because this is just, it's essential. I mean, it makes it so much easier to manage your mods. No deleting. All right. Well, I thought it was here. If I can find it. Okay. Linker? There it is. MSFS add-ons linker. I'm wondering what this is. This might be like a kind of a tutorial right here. But I kind of gave you a look. You can check out, there are videos, other videos too. And maybe I'll have to just make some more YouTube videos here. Alright. Yeah, so here's your add-on linker. I don't know what this is. Ooh, there's like a gallery. I've never seen that before. I'm gonna check that out. Oh, there's actually some... Okay. Anyway, it's Bad 2000. He did this. Bad 2000. MSFS add-ons linker. Download that. You don't have to put that in your community folder. Put it on a folder in your program files, wherever you want to put it on your hard drive. Create a shortcut to it. Put it on your desktop, whatever. And there you go. You'll have this thing. I believe when you do this, you're going to go in here and... Probably options, I'm guessing. Yeah, options, you're going to point where your folder is, where you're keeping all your mods actually. And then here you have to put in where's the path to your actual community folder, your actual Steam Microsoft Flight Simulator community folder. This you don't have to change. You might be able to actually, you could put it somewhere else, but I just left that the same. So look through all this stuff. Make sure, I think there might be, I know there's a video out there showing you how to do that. But check it out. Most of this stuff you don't really have to deal with. Yeah, I just stick with this page and it's going to get most of what you need to do. So that's what you're going to want. You're going to want that. Let's put my presets back on. Oh, no, I want to try something. You're going to do that, and then you're going to want to get a SimBrief account. And that's where you're going to set up your flights. And your SimBrief username, you're going to put in the A330-900, you're going to put in PackX. the PMDG, I think you can do that, and that'll link across programs and it'll pull this information right in and make your flight experience really quick to get into. I'm going to sign off now. It's later than I thought it was going to be, but glad to help you. If you have any questions, shoot them my way. Jump on the Discord, Prayer Warriors, and shoot any questions or things you'd like me make. I can put together some tutorial videos. I'll try to do that coming up here. If there's things that you'd like me to just kind of slow down, just focus on this. How do I do this? And I'll try to do that for you. All right. So thanks for coming along on the flight. Thanks for watching the tutorial here. We'll be flying tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. And I will see you then. So until then, happy flying and take care.